Welcome back to another explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into literally everything you need to know ahead of the absolutely monumental 2026 World Cup. Whether you're just a casual fan trying to map out your summer watch parties, or maybe you're a serious data cruncher hunting for that mathematical edge, we've got you covered. We've come through the supercomputer predictions, the betting markets, and the latest squad news to bring you the ultimate guide to soccer's biggest stage. It's going to be massive.
So, let's kick things off with the absolute biggest change to the tournament's DNA. We're talking an expansion to a staggering 48 teams. For the very first time, the World Cup is going to span across 3 whole countries: the US, Mexico, and Canada. This massively increases the sheer volume of matches and, frankly, completely rewrites the path to the trophy. This isn't just some minor administrative tweak, you guys. It fundamentally changes the math of how you win the whole tournament.
To get you prepped, here's our roadmap for today. We're looking at the new 48-team format, the supercomputer's heavy favorites, the desperate South American giants, the current injury crisis, and finally, those dangerous dark horses.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, the new 48-team format.
So, the traditional group stages you're used to, they've transformed entirely. We're now looking at 12 separate groups, which means the margin for error has definitely widened. Naturally, the top 2 teams from each group will advance, but here's the kicker. They'll be joined by the 8 best third-place finishers. Now, this breathes so much life into the tournament for teams that might stumble early on. But it also introduces a brand new, pretty terrifying hurdle, the round of 32. Simply put, to lift that trophy, a team now has to survive an additional, grueling, do-or-die knockout match. No pressure, right?
You know, what's genuinely fascinating about this expansion is how it opens the door for tiny underdogs to step onto the global stage. Take Curacao, for instance. With a population of just around 156,000 people, they're the smallest nation competing. I mean, that's roughly the size of a single neighborhood in a major city. Now, while power rankings might stick them near the bottom, their presence is exactly why we love this tournament so much. The expanded format absolutely guarantees we're going to see these unexpected matchups and incredible underdog stories right from day one.
Moving right along to Section 2, Supercomputer's heavy favorites. Let's look at the hard data.
According to Optus Supercomputer, the European powers are just absolutely dominating the predictions right now. Spain is actually leading the pack with a 16.02% chance of winning the whole thing. And get this, that's even with recent injury scares to their wonder kid Lamine Yamal. Their underlying data is just phenomenal. Right on their heels, we've got France at 12.54%, and you know they're hungry for revenge after coming so agonizingly close in 2022. And then there's England sitting at 10.66%. They boast an immense amount of squad quality, but, well, they still have to prove they can actually get over that final hurdle.
Now this is where it gets really interesting if you're looking for betting value. Notice the gap between the sportsbook's implied probability and the predictive analytics from Dimers. While sportsbooks are giving Spain an 18.2% implied probability, Dimers actually sees them a bit lower at 16.3%. The mathematical edge here surprisingly leans toward France, who share that 16.3% win probability but are offered at a much better price. But honestly, the most striking stat here, the Netherlands. Dimers gives them a 6.6% chance, which is way higher than the sportsbook's 4.3%. That makes the Dutch an incredibly valuable dark horse in the data.
Oh, and the model?
It suggests the market is vastly overestimating Brazil.
Quick timeout for a really crucial tip for anyone navigating these expanded knockouts and hunting for those data edges. Listen up, because you always need to account for the 90-minute rule. In soccer betting, the standard match result markets only apply to the 90 minutes of regulation plus stoppage time. So, if a match goes to extra time or penalty shootout in that new round of 32 and you bet on a team to win, your ticket is actually marked a loser if the game was tied at the 90-minute mark. So please always double-check if you're betting to advance or just playing the 90-minute line.
Okay, on to Section 3, South America's desperate giants.
Here we have such a fascinating contrast between 2 absolute titans, Argentina and Brazil. Argentina is marching in as the defending champions with a 10.09% win probability. They are literally chasing history, trying to become the first team to go back-to-back since way back in 1962. And they're doing it in what is almost certainly Lionel Messi's final dance. I mean, the guy will turn 39 during the tournament. On the flip side, we've got an unusually unfancied Brazil. The supercomputer gives them just a 6.82% win probability. They've been struggling with midfield depth and some unproven fullbacks, but man, they are desperate for redemption under their legendary manager Carlo Ancelotti. He's trying to build a brand new, player-centric culture around superstars like Vinicius Jr.
Which brings us to the harsh reality in Section 4, the injury crisis.
The physical toll of the modern club schedule is frankly just brutal right now, and it's taking out some massive stars. We're already seeing some devastating confirmed losses. Brazil's Rodrigo is out with a severe knee injury. France's Hugo Ekitike ruptured his Achilles, and the Netherlands just lost their dynamic attacker Xavi Simons to a torn ACL. And honestly, that's not even counting the major doubts looming over the tournament. Rising stars like Brazil's Estevan and Spain's Nico Williams are battling serious muscle injuries, while Germany's Ter Stegen is fighting a hamstring issue. This constant attrition is exactly why squad depth and the ability to adapt on the fly is going to completely define the 2026 champion.
Finally, let's wrap things up with Section 5, Beware the Dark Horses.
Analysts are increasingly tossing around the phrase a well-oiled machine when talking about Japan, and it hits the nail right on the head. Unlike teams that totally rely on a single superstar to bail them out, Japan functions with the seamless synergy of a top-tier club team. They actually just recently stunned England. By utilizing players like Karu Mitoma as these game-changing cogs in a highly efficient system, Japan is absolutely primed to upset the traditional hierarchy.
Then we've got Colombia. They are rapidly becoming the neutrals' favorites. There's this distinct sense of romance around this squad right now. They're kind of channeling the magic and the tragedy of their 1994 World Cup run, which, remember, was also held on North American soil. With their veteran playmaker James Rodriguez leading this really passionate resurgence and backed by the pure energy of Luis Diaz, Colombia has the flair and the emotional momentum to go incredibly deep in this tournament.
You also absolutely cannot sleep on these three disruptors. First up, Ecuador. They boast an ironclad defense, conceding just 5 goals in 18 grueling South American qualifiers. That kind of grit is exactly what wins knockout games. Then you have Norway. They are finally bringing the sheer inevitability of Erling Haaland and the midfield mastery of Martin Odegaard to the world stage. And last but not least, Senegal. They're combining seasoned physical veterans with a fearless young core. If you're looking for teams that literally nobody wants to face in that new round of 32, it's for sure these three.
So let's bring it all together. With a massive new 48-team format, the supercomputers heavily backing the European Titans, and a devastating injury crisis completely rewriting the scripts, the only real question left is, who do you have lifting the trophy as your 2026 champion? Will Messi achieve that immortal back-to-back glory? Will the cold hard data prove Spain right? Or will a dark horse shatter the odds and shock the world? Keep all these metrics in your back pocket when the whistle finally blows. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and enjoy the beautiful game.